In the harsh, war-torn terrain of Afghanistan, a sapper patrol rolls out on a routine mission to repair a stalled convoy. But the moment they arrive, tension is already in the air. A combat engineer jumps out, clearly irritated, demanding to know who's responsible for the mess that ruined his day. The squad leader steps forward and admits it was him. But this isn't just another soldier, he's his brother. What starts as frustration quickly turns into something more personal. The older brother begins explaining, half serious, half sarcastic, the laws of thermodynamics. Energy can't be created or destroyed, so when they filled the truck with stop leak, all that heat had nowhere to go, and eventually it blew. He smirks, saying he knew only his genius little brother could come up with something like that. But the younger one isn't laughing. He admits this isn't the life he wanted. Their dream was something bigger, RASP, becoming Army Rangers. He even reminds him of the matching tattoos they got, "Don't quit." The older brother brushes it off. That was years ago. They were just kids, 18, chasing a fantasy. Now, he's too old, and RASP, it's brutal. But the younger brother doesn't let it go. He tells him to imagine it, earning that Ranger scroll, the pride, the purpose. For a moment, the idea sticks, but before anything more can be said, gunfire erupts. The Taliban launch a sudden, devastating ambush. Bullets tear through the air, soldiers drop one after another. In the middle of it all, the older brother is hit, his knee shattered. Bleeding, broken, he drags himself forward, desperately trying to reach his brother. 2 years later, a bus cuts through the quiet roads toward the Army Ranger Selection Base in Colorado. Inside, a group of candidates sit in silence. Among them is him, the man who survived. As they arrive, the cadre wastes no time. Orders are sharp, emotionless. Candidates are told to surrender everything: phones, personal items, identity. From this point forward, they don't have names, only numbers. One candidate stands out immediately, a technical sergeant from the Air Force. The cadre assigns him as a team leader. His number? 7. Then comes another file, a candidate who was rejected 4 times due to a leg injury, yet kept coming back until he finally made the cutoff. That man becomes 81. When offered leadership, he refuses. He doesn't want command, he just wants to finish. Moments later, Sergeant Major Sheridan steps forward and addresses them. His message is clear. Army Rangers are the spearhead of the military, the first boots on the ground, and RASP, it's designed to break them, physically, mentally, emotionally. 8 weeks of hell, and only those who survive it will face the final challenge, a 24-hour death march. Cross that finish line, and they earn the Ranger Scroll. Fail, and it's over. Just like that, the program begins. The first week is brutal. Candidates drop like flies. Then come 3 more weeks of relentless punishment, obstacle courses, endurance drills, sleep deprivation. Every mistake costs you everything. By the halfway mark, only a fraction remain. During one of the long, exhausting marches, one candidate, number 15, starts rambling about conspiracy theories. He claims that once they're Rangers, they'll gain access to top-secret truths, Area 51, even the real story behind the moon landing. The others laugh it off, but 81, he says nothing. He keeps moving, quiet, focused, different. Later, during rifle training, a sergeant asks who has actually seen combat. No one answers properly, until 81. He calmly responds, Death Mountain Division, Spartans. Suddenly, everyone is paying attention. That night, the truth spreads. 81 wasn't just deployed, he was part of a convoy ambushed by the Taliban, where nearly everyone was wiped out. And somehow, he carried his brother nearly 10 miles, trying to save him. For that, he received a Silver Star. But when someone finally asks him what really happened, a sergeant cuts them off. Talking isn't allowed. Punishment comes immediately. Weeks pass, training gets worse, more intense, more unforgiving. During one exercise, candidates are asked why they're here. Most give the same answer: prestige, elite status, pride. But 81? He gives a different one. He just wants to cross the finish line. That's it, nothing more. That night, something feels off. 7 notices 81 quietly taking medication, PTSD. The next morning, he casually asks about the tattoo, DFQ. 81 is surprised. 7 shrugs it off, just a guess, but the connection is there now.
By week 6, the pressure becomes unbearable. Climbing drills, breaching exercises, endless rifle training. More candidates fail, more are eliminated. Then, one night, 81 wakes up from a nightmare, sweating, shaken. Before he can even process it, the sergeant storms in. Final week, no more preparation, this is it. One of the first challenges, walking underwater while carrying weight. No air, no panic allowed. One by one, candidates fail, but 81 pushes forward. As he sinks deeper, memories flood back. His brother, that day, that promise, it drives him forward until suddenly, everything goes black. He loses consciousness, and just before it's too late, 7 pulls him out, saving his life. But not everyone is convinced he belongs here. Behind closed doors, Sheridan and First Sergeant Torres discuss 81. Physically, he's strong, but mentally, he's unstable. He doesn't sleep, he avoids leadership, he doesn't connect with the team. To them, that's dangerous. 81 is called in. They give him a choice. Walk away now and keep your record intact, or stay and risk everything. Because if he's removed, he'll never come back. Sheridan reminds him, even the strongest machines have limits, and maybe he's reached his. But 81 doesn't hesitate. He refuses. He's not leaving. In the end, only a handful of candidates remain, including him. And now, the final mission begins. The final phase begins with a mission briefing that feels more like a real operation than a test. A classified aircraft has been shot down deep behind enemy lines. Their objective?
Locate the crash site, destroy the wreckage, and rescue the captured pilot before time runs out. They'll be inserted by Black Hawk helicopters into the Rocky Mountains. No real ammo, just blanks, but the cadre can ambush them at any time. One radio, limited supplies, and exactly 24 hours to complete the mission and make it back. Then comes the twist. 81 is assigned as team leader. A few of the others exchange looks. Even 15 mutters sarcastically, calling him the finish line guy. But orders are orders. There's no arguing now. The helicopters roar overhead before dropping them deep into the wilderness. Cold air, thick forest, total isolation. The moment they land, 81 sets the clock. 24 hours starts now. No one asks questions, they just move. The terrain is brutal, steep climbs, jagged rocks, endless trees. Hours pass as daylight slowly fades into darkness. They send situation reports through the radio, sticking to protocol. Eventually, 7 suggests a short rest. It's risky, the cadre could be waiting for an ambush, but exhaustion is catching up to everyone. 81 agrees. 20 minutes, no more. While the others sleep, he stays awake, watching, listening, carrying the weight alone. 7 tries to open up, asks a personal question. 81 shuts him down instantly. No distractions, not now. Morning arrives, and finally, they find the crash site, or at least what looks like it. The wreckage sits quietly in the distance, too quietly. 7 jokes about how realistic it looks, but 81 isn't convinced. Something feels off. Still, the mission continues. Explosives are planted, positions are assigned, everything moves like clockwork until someone notices something strange. The coordinates don't match. They're off by hundreds of meters. Then another problem. The compass starts spinning. The radio? Nothing but static. Something is interfering with their equipment. But before they can react, the explosives detonate. And that's when everything goes wrong. The blast barely leaves a scratch. Then it rises. A massive mechanical structure slowly lifts itself into view. Glowing red lights scan the area, searching, analyzing, and then it attacks. Gunfire erupts instantly, precise, ruthless. Soldiers drop within seconds. Panic explodes across the team. 81 shouts for everyone to run. They sprint through the forest, bullets tearing through trees behind them, but there's no escape. The machine launches explosives. The ground erupts. Bodies are thrown.
The survivors are sent crashing down a steep hillside, broken, injured, disoriented. For a brief second, 81 is back in Afghanistan. That same chaos, that same helplessness. But he snaps out of it. This time, he won't freeze. He pulls himself up and starts helping the others. 57 is impaled. 7's leg is shattered. The team is falling apart, but 81 keeps them moving. No time to process, no time to grieve. He searches for the radio, finds it, destroyed. Their only link to command, gone. And then he sees it again. The machine, still hunting, still killing. They regroup what's left of the team and move out fast. The only option now? Reach the village. That's where the cadre should be. That's their only chance. They reach a river. Fast, violent current. No bridge, no safe crossing. So 81 makes a call. They build a zip line. He goes first, fighting the current, nearly drowning, but he makes it across. One by one, the others follow, until everything collapses. A mistake, a slip. The machine returns, and chaos erupts again. Gunfire, explosions, men falling into the river, screams swallowed by rushing water. The machine walks straight into the current, unstoppable. The survivors are dragged downstream, over a waterfall, barely alive, barely breathing, but somehow a few of them make it. And they're not alone. 60 is still alive. He reveals something chilling. This mission, it wasn't supposed to be like this. No real threats, just simulations, which means that thing, it's real. They push forward towards the village, but when they arrive, it's gone, burned, destroyed. No survivors, no communication, just silence and death. That's when the truth starts to form. The machine didn't come from here. It came from above. An asteroid, the one in the news. It wasn't just a rock. It was something else, something alive. Tension builds inside the group. Fear turns into anger. 15 finally snaps, accusing 81 of being cold, detached, inhuman. And that's when 81 breaks. He reveals the truth. He didn't save his brother. He didn't make it back in time. He collapsed just short of safety, and his brother died. That medal, it wasn't honor. It was a reminder of failure. Silence. Then clarity. They don't need to finish the mission anymore. They just need to survive and warn others. They find a broken-down truck, get it running. For a moment, hope returns, but it doesn't last. The machine comes back, stronger, relentless. They fire everything they have. Nothing works. One by one, they fall. The truck crashes, explodes, and suddenly, it's quiet. 81 awakes alone, surrounded by bodies. The mission is over. The team is gone. Except 7.
Barely alive. The clock runs out. 24 hours. He failed. Again. As rain pours down, 7 speaks. He knew his brother, trained with him. He never stopped talking about 81, never stopped believing in him. For the first time, 81 listens. Then something clicks. A memory. Thermodynamics, heat, pressure, systems. Every machine has a limit, and he finally sees it. The machine isn't invincible. It needs to vent heat, and if that system fails, it dies. So he makes a plan. One last shot. He lures the machine into a quarry, sets explosives, activates heavy machinery, forces it into position, and blocks its vents. The system overloads, pressure builds, and then it explodes. The machine is gone. The next morning, 81 carries 7 on his back, step by step. Pain, exhaustion, blood, but he keeps going until finally he crosses the finish line. Sheridan and Torres watch in disbelief. He made it, alone, but the victory is short-lived. More machines are coming. Not one, not 10, thousands. The asteroid wasn't just one object. It split, and now they're everywhere. A global invasion has begun, but 81 brings something back with him. Knowledge, a weakness, a way to fight back. Sheridan promotes him on the spot. This time, he's ready. As helicopters prepare for deployment, Sheridan turns to him. The war is just beginning, and now it's his turn to lead. Inside the Blackhawk, names are being called, one by one, until they reach him. They pause because no one knows his name, and for the first time, it finally matters.